So I'll make sure my presentation is not that odd one. So to put up the context, I'll be introducing some of the technologies which can help you implement Griha strategies. So some three or four strategies, three or four technologies I'll be introducing during my presentation. I'll try to make up within the time. So to start with the context, putting up the context, the true criteria, criteria 13 and 14, I'll be just touching upon. In fact, some of the teachers who taught me this are sitting here, so I'll be faster in this. So there are two things, daylighting and solar control primarily. And through use of transparent material, you can get daylighting, that's for sure. So to move on to the criteria, actually there are three things which we can focus on and that we can relate with the technology we are having or which is going to come in future. So what are these three things? One is the ECBC compliant SHGC, that means solar heat gain coefficient. First thing we need to focus. Second is the daylighting factor, which has two things, the total daylighting area and the achievable daylighting factor. So for that, you need a glazing technology which can help you implement these things with ease. So just focus on these two elements. I'll move forward on this. There's another element which is called window to wall ratio. I'm sure you are aware of it. This figure shows how it's to be calculated. And it's totally vertical glazing, whatever you have, that can be calculated. That gives you a basic thing. So why glazing? A building or Griha rated building can be made without glass? Probably not. Because why? Because daylighting factors is mandatory and you have to have minimum 25% of daylit area. And this can be achieved by having openings which are transparent and which are actually energy efficient. Why? These are the criteria. I'll move forward because, and you know what are the daylighting factors if you have gone through the Griha rating system. So another factor which is important about from daylighting is the solar heat gain coefficient. So it is as per ECBC. So you need to focus, say for composite kind of environment, you need to you need to select a glazing which has maximum 25% of SHGC or 0.25 as the SHGC. So just focus on this. So, and the other criteria is criteria 14 for the whole building EPI index where glazing also helps. To summarize this, what I'm going to make point over here is, one is the daylighting integration, which contributes here. Then the thermal performance, which is ECBC compliant SHGC. Then optimum WWR, that can give you saving 20 to 40%. So our simulation calculation shows that if you are only considering ECBC compliant buildings, then the glazings or types of glazing you are using, you can get payback within 7 to 8 years. But if it is a Griha compliant where daylighting integration is also there, you can bring it down to 4 years. So there are two factors primarily which comes out of the first part of my presentation is, one is the light transmission a glass can provide you and how much heat it can stop. So this is called as selectivity. Selectivity is nothing but how much solar heat gain coefficient divided by the light transmission divided by the solar heat gain coefficient. So what are the technologies? I'm moving on to that. There's super selective coatings now available because glass has been same for so many centuries. It is the same glass. The only difference is happening in technology is in the coatings, which are the filtering coatings, which can allow light and cut down heat. So there's a lot going on in this field, and there's so many things. Every 6 months, there are new technologies, new coatings, they are coming up. So the past was this online coating technology, this online coating technology, which was a very old technology, you can say Baba Adam ke time ki technology. And no more it's a selective coating. I'll show it in the figures. Then came the offline coating technology, which is existing as of now as well. But the future is the super selective coatings. I'll show it with the figures, numbers. So selectivity I have explained. Light and solar heat gain coefficient, you need to look at it. Look at this chart. The first one, the online coating technology, I'll show it here. With a light transmission of 30%, it gives you selectivity of 0.65. That means still the solar heat gain coefficient is around 46%. Now look at the technological change with the coatings. With the almost same light transmission, VLT percentage, you are reducing the SHGC. That means you are reducing the heat gain inside the building. And look at the last thing, which is the 50% light transmission, and you have reduced the solar heat gain coefficient to 22%. That means selectivity is more than double, 2.27 is the selectivity. So this is which is happening on technology front. Then there was a question that since sun's solar movement is dynamic, the climate is dynamic, can you have dynamic facades? Yes, that is also possible, and this technology is now no more a future technology, but it's a present technology which is available, and some of the buildings in India, you will also soon see these kinds of facades available. What are these? It's an electrochromic technology where you can control the transmission of glass by a flick of switch. It has an electronic film inside it, and this is the actually. So what you can do is you have a range of light transmission, say from 5% to 55%, and you can bring down 0.40 to 0.06 in SHGC. And you can get a very low U value in this. So there's a range, depending upon the climate outside, you can do that. It gives you flexibility at building level, I mean building integration, at particular zone, or even at a panel level. If one window is there, you can still control that. And if you integrate with this building intelligence systems, it can work automatically depending upon the lux levels outside. So it's a great technology and working well. There's some of the testimonials where this is working outside India, but soon you'll find it in India. You can control the skylights. You can make them darker depending upon the solar movement. So what does it help? It helps, if you compare it with the existing technology, it can give you a larger saving in terms of heat gain. I mean, this simulation has been done on various climatic zones, and even from the high performance, most high performance static coatings, you can get some 14 to 17% of savings in this. So this is a chart which shows the savings. And actually this has been, LBNL has done some research on this, and they have found it out that how much savings you can do by integrating this technology. It also takes some electricity, some 2.5 watts, not much, it's minuscule. So that was about the second technology I wanted to introduce. Third one is the Indian climatic, mostly in northern India, we have winters and summers. You want a glazing to be suitable for both the climatic conditions. Is it possible? Yes, if you go with the triple glazed units, you can bring the U values below 1 or to that level, and still you can cut the solar heat with the higher light transmission. So this kind of coatings actually can work in both winter and summer climatic conditions. Number 4 is for the interiors. I mean, if you're, 1 minute? Okay, I'll wrap it up. So if you use the glass partitions, which take thinner space,